It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports, Pete.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. And that's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated with style and durability. You can trust Tervis tumblers to keep your drinks the perfect temperature, hot or cold, for hours. From the classic insulated tumblers to sleek stainless steel water bottles, each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Since our founding, we've been revolutionizing hair removal with cutting-edge technology and a commitment to empowerment. The You-Like Air 3, launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. Experience the future of hair removal today at youlike.com, because at YouLike, beauty is about looking and feeling good. That's ULIKE.com. YouLike. With Ease US, make studio-quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects, featuring 468 natural AI voices. Customize the volume, mood, and pauses to perfectly match your content. Plus, capture high-quality videos with no watermark. Record your screen, webcam, and voice, and save them instantly to your computer. Never been easier to create professional-grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Just use AMP-Pace.
AMP-Pace.
That's right. It's sports. It's the Pete Sousa Show, and we are stoked to be here live from the Alico building in downtown Waco, Texas. Pete Sousa Show with Scotty Spengler. Scotty, that's why we don't keep the windows open. See the glares? That's one issue. We have natural lighting here today, which I think will probably look pretty good. They're not? Okay. Let's leave it as is till the first break. We're going to start off this show, first of all, by thanking everybody, right? By the way, Scotty B, the Baylor King, Ashton Hawkins might be thanking you pretty soon. We'll get to Ashton Hawkins and the update there, the update that there's no update. Also take a look at what Scotty B has done to reinstate Ashton Hawkins after the mind-numbing decision by the NCAA. We're also going to thank Slovacics, right? Yeah, Slovacek's makes this possible. I drove by Slovacek's this morning. I did not have enough time to stop, get a kolache, say what's up to Ray. It was a bummer. It was a letdown. But I was rushing this morning. Pouring rain again, by the way. Pouring rain coming back from the DFW area and the old Flower Mound office. Quick Flower Mound note. Mean Joe Green lives in Flower Mound. I did not know that. I have never seen him. I'm finishing up that book about the 70s and 70s in sports by Michael McCambridge, The Big Game. And it says that says that Mean Joe Green lived in Flower Mound as recently as like 2 years ago. So that's pretty cool. At least I find that cool. Also, Crawford Austin Properties. Gotta thank you. Thank you so much is what we say. Also, Socorro Family Ford. Daniel Stark Injury Lawyers, that's right, and all the rest. Extraco Bank, and we're doing something new with First National Bank of Central Texas, and got a bunch of other stuff cooking. So we're starting today with LeBron, and there's a lot to get to with this situation. More developing over the weekend, and the reason I'm compelled to talk about this is not only because of there was a lot of, I guess I want to start the show with this because there was a lot of news about this over the weekend. And, obviously it all went down after our show on Friday. Article on Friday afternoon, I guess you could say, Brian Windhorst and Ramona Shelburne go into, in great detail, how the Lakers really are turning the page, right? Moving from LeBron James to focus on Luka Doncic. And that, as it was laid out in this story, like spring of 2026, that's it. That's Luka. Luka starts, LeBron finishes, right? Like that whole transition. And really the transition has already taken place. Illustrated in this article is Luka Doncic is a manager, Rob Pelinka, Luka himself, and JJ Redick, and they meet at this swanky LA restaurant, right, where everybody goes in the front except for Luka. Luka goes in the back, right, because he's just such a star. So the four of them get together to discuss the future of the Lakers. Obviously absent, I mean, you would think that might be six, right, LeBron James and Chris Paul, but no, they're completely absent. And I thought part of the article, and of course, like there was clever writing by Windhorst and Ramona Shelburne, they talk about how, Luka went in the back and met those three guys, but they all walked out the front, right? Paparazzi, people out there that can see, like, this is the new face of the Lakers, right? It's Luka Doncic, it's Rob Pelinka, it's JJ Redick, and it's not LeBron James. And over the weekend, Rich Paul spoke with Frank Iasola from Sirius NBA Radio. Now, he told Frank, he said, listen, I told LeBron, because Frank's like, hey, what's going on? What's the status? What have you guys been talking about? And he said, hey, I told LeBron just have a great summer, man. Like, we re-signed with the Lakers, a one-year deal, and that's where it's at. And then he was asked about his conversation, Rich Paul's conversation with Dave McMenamin, because as Dave McMenamin reported, Rich Paul said there are 4 teams in the NBA that are willing to trade for LeBron James. And those 4 teams, as we learned, this is according to Frank Iasola, speaking this morning on NBA Radio on Sirius XM, was Cleveland, Miami, the Clippers, and somebody else. Cleveland, Miami, and Golden State, okay? Conventional wisdom says you want to go to Cleveland or Miami because, gosh, competing in the West would be tough. But the Hollywood ending, and this is what I want to get back to the story and how they kind of couch this situation. And also, I know how this story was written. I have a very good, I shouldn't say I know, I have a very, very good feeling about how this story was written. Hang on one second, okay? Hold on. Mom.
Honey.
What's going on? Everything all right?
Will you be home next Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, I will be, actually.
When are you leaving? Wednesday?
No, next Saturday, I think. Okay.
You'll be here a whole week.
Yeah, I got you. I got you covered. What do you need?
No, wait, because I need to have a doctor's appointment, and it's all the way up in Thorndale. And my appointment's in August, but I'm going to tell them I can only see them next.
Yeah, I'll take you. I'll take you.
But tell me, you'll be here.
We can take a break if we need to, Pete.
No, Mom, I got you. I love you. All right, let me call you back. I'm in the middle of doing the show. All right, bye. Bye. Love you. Best mom ever, Terry Sousa.
The whisper at the end got me, bro. Okay.
Like now she's going to
She immediately goes, okay, love you.
Yeah, she's the greatest. A little quality time coming up next week with Mom. Okay, so I can pick up right where I left off. So the Lakers basically, in that article, it was outlined there. What is that? Come on, Scotty. All right, well, that's at least we're talking about praise stuff, so that's good. So the Lakers offered LeBron. They didn't offer him anything. That's the point. So LeBron had to literally reach out to the Lakers, right? LeBron and Rich Paul and say, "Hey, we're going to do the 1-year deal." The Lakers didn't get on him to sign it, because it was a player option, and the Lakers didn't offer him another year. And I think that when we start to really get into the nuts and bolts of this, we have to talk about people, right? And there's a lot of people stuff that's associated to this. Like, it's black and white, right? LeBron James, the best NBA player over the last 30 years, without question, who is still playing very well, playing for one of the most historic organizations in the NBA and NBA history, which has just been sold for $10 billion. So there's changes going on up top at the Lakers, whether anybody wants to talk about that or not. It's the truth. On the other side, and then you have LeBron who, says to himself, well, I chose to play for the Lakers, in 2018. I came here, but the Lakers say, hey, well, we got you AD. We drafted your son. That was a year ago, guys. And you gave us one championship in now 7 years, which is great. But, hey, man, you got like Kobe brought like 5 or 6, right? Magic, Kareem, 5 or 6. So we've got to get away from LeBron has been so transient in his career as an NBA player. I think it's hard for him to get that allegiance he would like from an organization. And he's seeing that now with the Lakers. Because if I'm LeBron, this gets to his side of it, right? My ego is saying to me, well, I came to this city. I won these guys a championship. I'm playing maybe close to, I'm running out of gas a little bit, but numbers-wise and performance-wise, some of the best basketball of my career. If you look at LeBron's entire body of work, this last season is up in the top third. And he's not getting the love that he's used to getting. And so when Dave McMenamin goes up to talk to him at that game, this is where this kind of began a little bit. When McMenamin goes to talk to LeBron and says, hey, you want to come on, right? McMenamin was doing sideline for the Summer League, and LeBron was there to see Bronny, and LeBron's like, man, I ain't got nothing to talk about, right? I think LeBron is bummed out. I mean, he's always passive-aggressive, right? Always. And he's being passive-aggressive again. I would guess, things can really change, but the writing is on the wall that, LeBron will not be a Laker for all of next season. And there are trades right now where, we talk about those 4 teams. Maybe that's a possibility, but LeBron and Bradley Beal, only 2 players in the NBA, by the way, with no trade clauses. So there is potential that maybe LeBron and Rich Paul back off that no trade clause, a real small chance, but I doubt that too. And that's why those 4 teams, I think, are so important. I think you could throw New York in there too. But that's just me. I think from a fan perspective, I would be interested in that, because that article, back to the Brian Windhorst and Ramona Shelburne article, it talked about the fact that the opportunity for a Hollywood ending for LeBron James in Los Angeles is gone, right? But he could still have a Hollywood ending in New York, right? You take the Lakers to a championship for the first time in 50 years. That would be pretty amazing. You go to Cleveland, you take Cleveland to a championship. That would be pretty amazing. And I also have Austin Reeves talked about this on his show, his podcast. So I don't want to pretend this was my idea. but it makes sense. I'm pissed I didn't think of it first. Brian Windhorst is like, this is Brian Windhorst sticking it to LeBron. Okay, and he just hang in there with me. Remember the Pat McAfee show when LeBron came on and kind of shit on Windhorst a little bit. It was kind of like, the guy's been following me around, and and Windhorst would be the first dude to line up and tell you LeBron James has had 99% to do with the success for myself as a writer. Now, I think that would be him giving LeBron too much credit. Brian Windhorst does an amazing job, and like most things in life, the timing was there, and he was ready for the opportunity, right? And he delivered. And he continues to deliver. But when LeBron made those remarks, passive-aggressive again, towards Brian Windhorst, I guarantee the moment Windhorst heard that, at some point, he's like, you know what, dude? I'm through. And not like he is like protecting this guy, 24 hours, 7 days a week. But I am sure there have been stories that would have been real derogatory in nature about LeBron James that Brian Windhorst has backed off of. Well, that clearly has ended. Because if you read that piece, and I would urge anyone to go read that piece on ESPN.com about LeBron leaving LA, Windhorst is so connected throughout the NBA, obviously, and so connected to people around LeBron. And maybe not quite as connected as he used to be, but he still has a better vibe for that situation than most anyone else covering the NBA. Ramona Shelburne is so sourced up with the Lakers. Like, people know she is reported to be close to Jeannie Buss and close to Rob Pelinka. And she has her fingerprints all over this story. Obviously, her name is on it. But all this stuff is legitimate, dude. I need to really impress upon everyone that's watching this and listening to this. This is not me spitballing about some ideas I have, right? This is not Pat McAfee spitballing. This is the real deal. Like, LeBron James and the Lakers seem to be headed for a separation, and it's got everything to do with LeBron not feeling like he's not getting the love. And for the first time in the dude's life, he's not getting the love. He'll turn 41 on December 30th, okay? So at 40 years of age, you got to imagine, since he's 12 or 13, so let's just say 27 years, LeBron James has been the focal point of everything. LeBron James has been the guy on every single team he's been on. And that goes up to organizations, He makes decisions and cities crumble, look at the decision in Cleveland. And then what does he do? He anoints other cities to be champions. And now he can't get any love. And the Lakers are basically like, thanks, but after this season, you're welcome to go any way you would like. And he's pissed. And his feelings are hurt. And as much as that guy is a superstar, this is also just a study on psychology. He's clearly still insecure with a lot of stuff to prove, as we all are. By the way, this is a great lesson for anybody out there going to work today that is having some insecure feelings about how you might perform at work or how you're being viewed by the boss at the office, right? Or by the folks up in the C-suite. What do they think about me? Yo, LeBron's thinking the same thing. It's all relative, right? On a much different level he is, but we're all wired the same, man. We put our pants on one leg at a time, and the psychology inside our head is only as good or as healthy as we work on it to be. And I'm sure LeBron does stuff for his mental health. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying I can totally understand how someone like him would feel this way. I can totally understand how the Lakers would feel this way. I can totally understand how Brian Windhorst would maybe enjoy writing that article a little bit. And that, to me, is just an opinion, right? But I know that Ramona Shelburne has amazing sources that really seem to illustrate here that the Lakers are ready to move on from LeBron. And like the way that they wrote that story, that's why I want you guys to read it, because it will give it so much more just due. Give it its just due, as opposed to me telling you about it. Like those four people, because Luka, his manager is a woman, but Luka's manager, Luka, Rob Pelinka, and JJ Redick going out, leaving that swanky LA restaurant during primetime hours where they all walk out together, brothers in arms, ready to start this new chapter in Lakers basketball history. And they're without arguably the best basketball player of all time, who's on the active roster now, right? I'm not arguing he's the best player of all time, but I just said best player in the last 30 years, and that's hands down. I don't think LeBron will be a Laker. I don't want to say too much longer, but I will say, like, after the trade deadline, which is a long time from now, a lot can change. Any move involving LeBron over the summer, specifically with the Cavs, the Clippers, Miami, and Golden State, will not surprise me now. And I do think he has that no trade clause. That's the last little bit of leverage it seems like he has in LA. And I think LeBron is just shook right now, as I would be. I think that hearing Rich Paul talk to Frank Isola, it sounded like it sounds like nobody is being straight, right? Like nobody's being straight. And like these other NBA front office people are at Summer League talking to Isola about, hey, like, there's probably going to be a trade. Like teams could make a move for him. And this is a riveting story because it's got all the major players, and it's something to totally keep an eye on. But it's and it's not a bad ending, it's just life. This is all like life being lifey, And I would urge anybody to look at LeBron, right? And look at LeBron and his behavior and the way that he's handling this, like, to let you know that, like, he's not much different from me or you, like, internally, and the way he thinks, the way he responds to stuff. And Windhorst is getting his. He sought retribution, and he just might be getting it, right? Rich Paul is just amazing. All the players, man. Jeannie Buss is still in this whole conversation somehow, and Rob Pelinka is as well. But LeBron's in no man's land, and that's the last place I think he ever expected himself to be. All right, the Pete Sousa Show rolls on after this. We're going to come back, talk a little more Baylor football recruiting. Everywhere you go on social media today, if you're a college football fan like I am, you will see memes, you will see rankings, and you will see Baylor sitting atop the college football recruiting world. We're going to get into that and a real good reason why I think it has all taken place. The Pete Sousa Show, presented by Slovacic's, back after this.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at a stop. I thought I was fine, and then once I got home, I realized it's a lot worse than I thought. I ended up having a ruptured disc. You say you're not hurting, and then an hour later, you're saying you're in all this pain. I just felt like most people would think that I was lying. That's when I decided to call Daniel Stark. I owe a lot to Daniel Stark. They really got me what I deserved.
The difference is stark.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down to afterwards, was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
I don't know, if Bubble wasn't here, I don't know what people would be doing, like making PowerPoints or something. Bubble allows you to make it real and for it to actually work. So I feel like Bubble bridges that gap and being able to give people the opportunity to make their ideas come to life really quickly too. I love that I can sit down and build something the way that I think it should be built and have the control over it.
Bubble turns ideas into fully scalable apps. Try Bubble today.
Hi, I'm Jo from Face Theory. You're going to want to have a specific goal for your skincare routine. What do you want to achieve? Active ingredients are really strong, and if you're using too many at once, your skin can get overwhelmed. Don't overspend on products. Choose products that have scientific research behind them. At Face Theory, if you're not happy with a product, just say so, just give us a shout and we'll give you your money back, no problem.
I know you're gonna love this Kodak Dot Plus printer. You guys just connect it to your smartphone and then you're gonna use the Kodak Photo Print app. It's going to print you a 4x6 photo. I am just in awe. I love how these turned out. Also, the printer comes with a free cartridge of 10 photo sheets. I can assure you, you are going to love this printer as much as my family has. You guys have to check it out for yourself.
Streamline event and appointment booking with Amelia's sleek, modern, and fully customizable booking forms. Tailor the colors, fonts, and design to match your brand and seamlessly integrate with your WordPress website. Whether it's for events or appointments, Amelia makes booking simple, stylish, and perfectly aligned with your business. Enhance your booking experience today at WPAmelia.com. That's WPAMELIA.com. Amelia.
When you learn a language with Babbel, you start a journey that takes you further and further. Anytime and anywhere you wish. It's easy and fun. Broadens your horizons and keeps your brain fit. A journey into new thoughts, new cultures, new adventures. So what are you waiting for? Start your journey with Babbel now. Go to babbel.com or download the app.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry for its dedication to helping individuals with bad credit secure loans. By making timely repayments, borrowers can gradually repair their credit history, thereby increasing their chances of securing better loan terms in the future. BadCreditLoans.com serves as a beacon of hope for those with bad credit. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
All right, it's the Pete Sousa Show. We are back, and we're talking about college football now because the season is upon us. Obviously, Big 12 Media Days last week, a recruiting just bonanza this past week by Baylor, and I want to kind of dive into that because obviously that's our bread and butter. It's Big 12. It's in our backyard, and it's a national story among folks that follow college football recruiting. Now, there's three people, and that I would say, and I'm going to ask Scotty to come in here in a moment and correct me or add his 2 cents because I'm not sure. But Matt Powledge, Keenan Hall, and Dave Aranda, okay? Like, my question to Scotty and people that know more than me, right, about the inner workings of Baylor football, because I know a good amount, and I like to think I have some good sources, but at the same time, who is most responsible for this recruiting windfall that we have witnessed over the past, let's say, 14 days, 3 weeks? And by the way, we'll put it up on the screen in a second. We'll get into all the details and just show you how a seismic shift took place just over the past, 6 days as we look back on last Tuesday. But Swingler, who do you think is most responsible? If you were to, and if there's somebody else I'm not mentioning, please feel free.
There are two names that I think bear a lot of responsibility that you didn't mention. Aaron Hunt, the general manager, deserves a lot of credit for this. Very well respected. And then I would say Dallas Baker.
Yes.
Specifically with the two four-star wide receivers.
I shouldn't have left him off.
Two four-star wide receivers in this class, and maybe one or two more that are coming. That's direct credit to Coach Baker. I think most people, and 24/7 Sports reflects this, I think most people give Keenan Hall kind of the lead credit as the lead recruiter for a lot of these guys.
Which, by the way, all this goes back to Aranda. Hiring Keenan Hall. Like a guy who was just not. You don't picture Dave and Keenan Hall going to cookouts.
What?
Together. Yeah.
I want to go to a cookout with both of them. That sounds delightful. But Keenan Hall followed me on X last week.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, for good reason.
So I think I'm going to get an offer to go play punter or long snapper.
We play producers.
Or water boy.
That's what he's going to. We pay producers.
Yeah,
That's what his shirt's going to
exactly, exactly.
So you believe that? Okay, so out of the 5 people you mentioned, who's the most responsible?
Keenan Hall.
I'd say Keenan Hall as well. Yeah,
but I even hate that question because they all.
I know.
You can't do all of this without all of them.
But those other guys were in place. Like up until the last 2 years, and the last 2 years is when we've really seen the dominoes start to fall with Baylor and Baylor's recruiting. This next class coming, and just for the people out there who need like a little football 101, I think we all need a refresher once in a while. These kids aren't playing next year. Okay, it's not next year. It's the year after.
Right.
Next year. By next year, I mean like in August. But so not 2025, 2026.
They are all about to play their senior year of high school.
Yep. And look, with that comes a possibility of defections.
Yes.
Which I don't see any sign of that happening because I appreciate like the deeper kind of message that we're hearing these players talk about. We're building something. Your boy, who we're going to have on the show this week at some point, Connor, right? Sorry. Give me his name.
He just messed this up, and I'm so mad at him. Quinn Murphy.
Sorry. Quinn Murphy.
The most under-the-radar star quarterback in America.
Yes.
My quarterback.
Scotty's quarterback.
Jason Witten's quarterback.
Yeah, and he's constantly, this kid's on social media like, hey, we got one more. Like, you can feel like there's something happening. And there's a little bit of a swagger, and it's cool to see schools kind of with long-term reputations that can be perceived as lukewarm around the country, like Baylor, college football-wise.
Yep.
But now it's like, when you're on a heater, you're on a heater. It doesn't matter. Like I don't care what you've done for me in the past. Like, let's talk about today.
The Bears are on a heater.
They're kicking ass.
Yeah.
They truly are. Now, whether this will change the face of Baylor football for decades to come, I'm not going there.
Right.
But for right now, this looks awfully good.
Well, here's what's interesting is you're talking about potential guys that might flip this fall, decommit or go to another school. On one hand, this recruiting class, I think, gives Dave Aranda a much cooler seat because though I expect this year's team to be very, very good, if they're not quite what we expect, you can at least point to this class and say, we are doing this right. This class is going to end up most likely being the best signing class Baylor has ever had. And Art Briles had some really strong ones.
Yeah.
So this helps Aranda. On the other hand, if Baylor wins 7-8 games, finishes in the middle of the Big 12, and then 5 guys decommit, now his seat is much hotter.
Yeah.
Because you put together this great staff that is putting together this top 25 class. We'll show you the rankings in a second. And if you can't win on the field, and so some of them bail, now you got to leave.
Yeah.
Like, now I'm really done with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on one hand, I feel like it takes pressure off, and on the other hand, I think it ratchets the pressure up on this football season.
And it's also a situation where it's like, I think that's why being a college coach is such a difficult job emotionally because you're so invested in these kids. Now they say they're coming. You have to keep recruiting them. Like, you're not done.
Right.
You
continue.
Yeah.
These guys that have committed, you put full attention still on them,
which
on their seasons.
Yeah, I truly believe that Baylor will continue to do
I do
that.
too.
Yeah. All right, let's get to these rankings because this is eye-opening.
Yep.
And, Scotty, I want you to take us through this because you put this together, and this is something I know you're very proud of. Not only your work here at the Rogue Media Network and the Pete Sousa Show, but also Baylor's recruiting success.
I'm excited about the Baylor Bears. So here's who Baylor signed over the weekend since we went off the air on Friday. Jamarian Carlton, 4-star, 94 grade, the 33rd best player in America, the 3rd best defensive lineman in America. That was the big one that fell late last week. Then, no, we talked about that Friday. He signed Thursday.
We talked about him Friday.
So after we went off on Friday, we got these two dudes. First of all, Jordan Clay. I watched this live on Friday afternoon. the 8th wide receiver in America, 85th overall player in America, 4-star, 93 grade, 6'3", ball hawk wide receiver from San Antonio.
He's so impressive.
Picked Baylor over. He could have gone to school anywhere he wanted, and he picked Baylor. He really could have played at any school in America. And then Jalen Battle, just because we're getting these 4-star guys, don't sleep on these highly graded 3-star guys. 88 grade, borderline 4-star player as well. He is the number 11 player in Oklahoma, and committed to Baylor over some huge names as well, including Arizona State.
Yeah.
So huge gets for Baylor over the weekend, and I want you to watch what this did to the Big 12 rankings here, because last Tuesday, this is what I put up on the screen. Baylor was 52nd, and I said, they're 52nd, but they've got 4 4-stars, which is more than any other school here. So they'll be all right. And
so hold on. They're 52nd because I can't see it.
Yes, this is last Tuesday.
Okay.
Baylor was 52nd in America.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
9th in the Big 12.
Okay. Now this is last Tuesday.
Yes.
So when we went to media days, this is what it looked like.
Yes.
All right. Now let's do the updated.
We jump to today. Boom. Baylor is 22nd. They are breathing down BYU's neck. Passed them very briefly, but BYU got one more commit over the weekend as well.
Okay.
Baylor has 6 4-star players committed. Nobody else has more than 3 combined 5 and 4 stars. Baylor has 6. I want to go back real quick, Pete, because one other sneaky school, though, that's sneaking up here that you'll like this. Houston, last Tuesday, was ranked 63rd.
Yeah.
Houston today, 45, middle of the conference.
What did they do?
They signed another 4-star, I think. Let me look at these numbers. They signed 2 4-stars.
Okay.
Over the weekend, and they're kind of flying under the radar because.
How do they make that happen? I wonder.
Sean Bell's on that staff.
How do they make that? I know it's your boy, but that's so.
Sean Bell's one of the best recruiters in Texas. Sean Bell's on that staff. That is legitimately my answer, not just because he's my boy.
You think he's that? Well, he's not Jerry Tarkanian.
I think before Aranda brought in Keenan Hall, Sean Bell was the reason Baylor was signing the good guys they were signing seasons prior.
Yeah. No, I defer to you on that.
Yeah.
I don't know the inner workings of all that previously.
Yeah.
All right, so that put up those rankings, the Tuesday to the present day. That's really good.
There's last week.
So there's last week. They're at 52, right? And then let's go. Wow. And are they done? You think there's one more?
I think there are for Baylor.
Yeah.
I think there are 2 more 4-stars that I'm hearing are very likely to jump in.
Okay.
No 5-stars, I think, really coming to Baylor, but you could have 8 or 9 by the end of this class. 4-star players. By the way, Quinn Murphy might be a 4-star recruit if the sites are honest.
Yeah.
After this season.
Well, and they say some of these guys could evolve into 5-stars. Some of the 4-stars they just signed.
Yeah.
Best recruiting class in Baylor history altogether, all in?
We'll see how it finishes, right? But I would say I'm going to put us back over here like this because then I can look at you. I would say currently it is on track to be that, yeah. I don't know, actually. Scotty B, do you know what is the highest ranked class Baylor's ever had? Because right now they're 22nd. That will change. That will change. There's still a lot of players that need to fall.
Okay.
But I think that's around where I think the highest class Bryles ever got was somewhere in lower part of the top 25. Okay. Yeah.
I will say Scotty B too, who Scotty Swingler, our producer and wingman over here, who you see on screen, just referenced. Scotty B is just like a Baylor. He's not just a Baylor superfan. It's almost like he's part of the goddamn team.
Look, his name is Scotty B, the Baylor King.
And he is – okay, so last week he completely owned a Texas assistant coach on Twitter. Some of the language I don't know. But, Scotty is out there. He's ruthless. And then with the Ashton Hawkins stuff, Scotty is always giving not only – support to Ashton Hawkins.
He's a content creator, dude.
Petitioning the NCAA constantly. I saw a tweet from a reputable source yesterday that said if Ashton Hawkins is actually able to play next year and the NCAA allows his eligibility, that Scotty B will be probably the most responsible guy in the country for it.
Dude, we need to write a feature story on Scotty B if he saves Ashton Hawkins. NCAA knows they're in trouble when Scotty B looks into the camera and does one of these.
What's Scotty B saying? Anything? Any updates?
Not at this moment. I just threw up a few of his Ashton Hawkins comments.
Yeah, I mean, look, getting Ashton Hawkins will be huge because I think, again, like, we're talking about present day now.
We need to get Ashton on the show.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
please reach
I'm gonna reach out today.
Yeah.
We need to get Ashton on the
I had
show.
I had a couple of his touchdown calls last year. Good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get him on.
Let's do it.
All right, the Pete Sousa show continues. Klay Thompson, Megan Thee Stallion, Shadur Sanders, fourth quarterback for Cleveland. What are we doing here? There's a lot of questions out there as to why all this is happening. We hopefully can come back with some answers. The Pete Sousa show on the other side of the break. Back after this.
Did you know nearly all stock price changes of 10% or more result from a single news headline? These news catalysts create trading opportunities every day. All you need is a little help to reach out and take them. It doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.
BODY-ODY-ODY.com.
I've always had thin hair my whole life. It breaks off at a certain length. In the last 6 months, I've noticed it just really bad. I mean, you could totally see it. I wear a hat a lot. I tried several different products. My experience with the Bosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
BODY-ODY-ODY.com.
Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner.
Since 2003, Bluehost has been empowering people to harness their brands online with innovative web hosting solutions. Trusted by over 2 million users, we're the longest-running WordPress.org recommended host. With Bluehost, you get a safer, better web experience, supported by the world's most popular site builder, and backed by our commitment to open source projects. Visit Bluehost.com today and take your website to the next level.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internex. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit Internex.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress. It's like a wearable hug for your nervous system that helps you calm down and feel better. The Apollo wearable will send gentle vibrations to your body, like a song you can feel instead of hear. You feel better, you sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Elevate your experience with Grenco Science, the leaders in cutting-edge vaporizers. Whether you're at home or on the go, our sleek, powerful devices deliver smooth, consistent hits every time. Quality you can trust, innovation you can feel. Grenco Science. Take your vapor game to the next level. Visit us at GrencoScience.com.
It all began with a simple idea, cutting handles off old ski sticks to create better pull-up bars. This sparked the creation of the revolutionary Engels 90 handles. After testing over 70 prototypes with 300 athletes, our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Okay, the Pete Sousa Show. The Chargers are reporting to NFL training camp today. Like, that's happening. Like, let's go. I mean, we are there. Honestly, let's see. I know our boy Matt Mosley with the Rogue Media Network is going to be headed out to Oxnard for Cowboys training camp. Let's get the exact date. Cowboys training camps, Oxnard out in Southern California, July 22nd, baby. Wow. I mean, that's what, 8 days. So that's, 8 days. So it's next Tuesday. Pretty cool, man. And like, there's also a ton of drama. And I got to talk about what's going on in Cleveland, because quietly, Shedeur Sanders seems to be falling out of favor. Right now on the depth chart, he's reported to be the fourth-string quarterback, and if you've been paying attention just to some of the off-the-field stuff, that hasn't been going great. I mean, a couple speeding tickets is like whatever. Lord knows I've gotten more than my share, but nobody's looking to start me a quarterback either in the NFL. And so that has shown it gets a little tricky for the Browns, and it kind of gives a little bit of a window into things that Shedeur Sanders might be just a little like laissez-faire about, and just not the best reflection of him. Now, on the field, you have to imagine that like Joe Flacco will start. Kenny Pickett will probably be the backup, and then you've got Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. If Shedeur falls to fourth on the depth chart, or should I say stays there, there's a chance that that the Browns part ways with him. I was reading an article on Yahoo over the weekend. That the Browns it's possible that they would cut ties with Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel for a gamble on an electric quarterback. Now, that electric quarterback would be next year, right? And next year would be the quarterback would be Lenoris Sellers from South Carolina, right? Like, so now we're really like, we're jumping into the future, but it's just not out of the realm of possibility that there are changes afoot in Cleveland before Shedeur Sanders even has a chance to get things going off the ground. Now, I do not believe at all that this would spell the end of Shedeur Sanders' career if any of this were to come to fruition. I believe Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think, like, from watching him all last season, right, like working with the Big 12, calling games, like, this dude is just like, he's just got it. You know, and he's efficient. Like, he's not this explosive quarterback who is going to do, Jameis Winston, 30 picks, 30 touchdowns. Like, he's a precision passer. And he has just enough moxie to stay upright. And even when he goes down, he pops right back up. And he has that it factor. Now, I believe, like, he'll have to show, and this is where a lot of young quarterbacks can go left. And I think that Shedeur, with help from his father and all the great resources he has, relationships, understands the importance of, like, working hard, right? And I think that it's important for him, man, right now at this phase in his career, to be the first guy in the building and the last one to leave, especially if you're going to play quarterback. And like it or not, there's a little bit of like a side eye that the veteran offensive tackle makes at Shedeur Sanders and some of, like, just some of the ways that he carries himself. That happens in the NFL, right? Locker rooms, different people. But you can't argue with hard work. You can't argue with showing up on time and staying late, or showing up early and staying late. So, like, there's a lot of intangibles right now that Shedeur Sanders has the opportunity to take advantage of all the little things off the field that could earn respect from his teammates, which I think could catapult him back up into the top 3 quarterback situation. Of course, we really haven't even started this journey, right? When training camp begins. But stuff will happen fast, and I would imagine that the Browns are going to want to get a look at some of those young quarterbacks, those 2 young quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel, and of course, Shedeur Sanders. I look forward to Shedeur having a really good career in the NFL, but there's going to have to be a move that is made by him as far as putting the pedal to the metal and being that all-star, like I said, that closes the building down with the janitor. I'm telling you, having been around professional organizations in the NBA, that stuff is important. People talk about that stuff. And teammates notice that. And I think that when you're a quarterback and you're, the leader of a team, that stuff's super important. So I think Shedeur has an opportunity to cancel out all the noise with the speeding tickets and all the nonsense and all the stuff that people try to put out there with little things, right? And I think that doing the little things for Shedeur Sanders will eliminate BS stories like the one I just mentioned that Yahoo wrote over the summer or over the weekend, that Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders were out, and that Lenore Sellers from South Carolina is going to be their next quarterback for the Browns. I mean, that's just kind of crazy talk, but it's also super interesting. But the hard work thing is like you cannot understate that. I was listening to Rich Paul this morning, listening to his interview with Frank Iasola yesterday on NBA radio. Rich Paul is obviously extremely clever, an extremely shrewd businessman, but he works his ass off, right? Like he talked about his father, right? Growing up in Cleveland or I guess Akron, like his dad, he just says was the hardest worker, like rain, sleet, snow, right? He worked his ass off. And that's where Rich Paul learned about working so hard. So when you hear things like that, it combines Rich Paul and his talent, obviously his ability to connect with people, his ability to make deals, his ability to kind of see the big picture. You combine that with hard work, that commands respect right away. So you're lethal, right? And that's what I think Shedeur needs, to marry some of those little things where it's like, you can't talk shit about the person who's working harder than you. You just can't. You can't do that. If you do, you're a fool, because you can't attack someone in a working capacity if they work so much harder than you. I mean, you can find holes in their game, but at the end of the day, like they can kill you, the fly, with a sledgehammer, them. One more thing before we go today. Klay Thompson can still shoot. Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Hard launch to the relationship over the weekend. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention. It started with a picture of Megan Thee Stallion at a pool, a picture on Instagram, and off in the distance, it sure looked like Klay Thompson. What's the image on the left, Scotty?
That's the one I knew Megan Thee Stallion posted this weekend.
Okay. So what is that one?
That's her and Klay getting it on, dude.
Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah. She's that's right. Her back is facing us. Yeah. So that was another post.
Yeah.
Your girl is feeling it, dude. When she posts like we've all been there. Like early in the relationships, like 2 posts in a weekend, you're like, wow, this girl really likes me. I don't know what her damage is, but she likes me, Klay's not thinking that because Klay knows he's the man. But I love this stuff. I love celebrity relationships. I was sitting here last week really pondering out loud to Scotty as to why I like them, but also as to why celebrities like have to date celebrities. I know you can give me the regular speak, like, oh, well, they know what it's like to live in that crazy environment and to live in a bubble, and there's certain places you can go, you can't go. Yeah, that's all well and good. Like, you can still, if you're Tom Brady, find a beautiful single mom with 2 kids in the suburbs of, I don't know, Las Vegas, if that's where you're spending a lot of your time these days, as you get ready to take Pete Carroll and Ashton Genty to the playoffs, right? But when you look at Klay Thompson, this is a huge bucket for him late in his career, right? I mean, he is legit fading off into the sunset, right? His NBA career is, I mean, he's coming back to the Mavs, and the Mavs can use a shooter. I think you can always use shooting in the NBA, but, you know, it's not 10 years ago, right? When Clay was the guy, when the Splash Brothers were the thing. So, like, what a boost to your profile late in your career. It's like, yo, man, I still got it. Like, Klay Thompson, this is a massive flex for him, in my opinion. Megan Thee Stallion was dating another NBA player last year whose name I even forget, which just lets you know, like, Klay is the man. Let's get to some of the deets around this story, if I may, okay? Let's just get this up here so I can say, oh, by the way, one more thing. All right, I'm going to do this wrap real quick. We're gonna move on from Klay. Let me see if I have one more. Hold on. Let's see. I just want to get the details right? We want to have the news for you, okay? Reliable news source. Here we go. Yahoo Sports, right? So this is what I read over the weekend. Let's just read for you. It's official. Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are that couple now. After weeks of evasive rumor and social media detective work, the 4-time NBA champion and 3-time Grammy-winning rap queen, from Texas, by the way, have confirmed rumored romance in style. On Saturday, Thompson posted a snuggly photo of himself. Okay, so Thompson posted that. There you go. A snuggly photo of himself with Megan Thee Stallion on Instagram, sealing the rumors with a no-nonsense cryptic caption. Sweet bells, son. That was the caption. Okay, Klay. If it wasn't loud enough, former Golden State Warrior teammate of Thompson, Draymond Green, couldn't resist leaving a one-word comment that screamed approval. Killer, in quotes. You know that. Klay loved that. I mean, those guys they're like family. I mean, you go through wars like that, right? In like huge stages and huge games and play for each other. That's so cool. So that relationship is super interesting. One thing I had to revisit this, Scotty. I forgot to tell you to put this in like the show notes, so it doesn't matter. But I said this, and I think we have documentation of this when we were talking about Kyrie's new deal with the Mavs being just short of $100 million. And who makes $100 million contract-wise? Stephen A. Smith. Over the weekend, Kyrie legitimately called into question not only Stephen A. Smith, but his $100 million contract, which I said at the time. I said, I'm telling you, Kyrie seems to have done the thing that, like, he kind of put his ego in the back seat and he took a deal that wasn't like, eye-opening, or it wasn't the biggest deal in NBA history, right? It took less than $100 million. I think it was 90-something. But I said to Scotty, I was like, he's got to be pissed that Stephen A. Smith's contract is now more impressive than his. And he said this weekend, did you see this? He said Stephen A. Smith doesn't deserve $100 million.
Listen, you think I'm going to take a team-friendly deal? You don't have no room to talk about my money, Kyrie. You got nothing. I stand on business.
And nobody cares about the Epstein list. That was what he said. He was on.
I did see that.
Oh, Lord.
You think I care? Yeah.
I mean, Stephen A., we'd like to know if some of our, like, big-time leaders are into, like, some real shady stuff. I'm interested, and not just for gossip. I want to make sure none of them are in charge.
I work very hard.
You do.
You don't come at me about my money.
We could. I think we'll hear something about like soon. Stephen A. will respond.
Can I have 0.1% of Stephen A.'s salary, please?
That would right? Yeah, seriously.
That would really bless me today.
It still is, and this we'll close with this. It still is insane how much money these guys make and how much we split hairs over what are fractions to them salary-wise, which would mean the world to us.
Yep.
Good for them. I mean, again, I would say to Kyrie, just like I say to anybody that asks why Kyrie gets paid that much, it's supply and demand, dude. People want to watch Stephen A. Smith. It's like it's in the numbers. Like, people can yell about him. You can say whatever you want. That dude moves the needle for ESPN and generates a lot of capital. And I also think one thing that we don't give Stephen A. credit for is I think that he develops a lot of talent with ESPN. I was caught a quick glimpse, or I actually had it on Sirius Radio this morning. First Take was on, and they have like that ESPN Extra channel. And Monica McNutt was hosting First Take. And I really feel like Stephen A. Smith sort of moved her along. I think the inner work, and again, I call games for ESPN. I'm never like at the studio or in Bristol, so I have no idea how that works. But you get the feeling that Stephen A. has really encouraged Monica McNutt, had her on First Take a lot. I think that he has say over that, who comes on First Take. It's his show. And she's amazing. And so I think ESPN even gets value out of Stephen A. Smith in that regard, which nobody ever talks about. All right, we'll be talking more tomorrow. The Pete Sousa Show, we're wrapping it up. Thanks for joining us on a Monday. Did Scotty B, the Baylor King, say anything worthwhile at the end? I saw you pop something up.
He said, Stephen A. Smith is a joke.
Hey, all right. Stephen A. Smith or Drake Toll? I want you to think about it, Scotty B. We'll be back tomorrow.
It's the Pete Sousa Show. Sports.
We definitely love our relationship and love Extraco. It's been an amazing experience.
They made the PPP process easier. They were reaching out to me saying, what can I do to help you? That made a huge difference because my stress level, when we shut down, to afterwards was night and day.
Our experience with Extraco has been phenomenal since the very beginning, so we love Extraco.
Nobody tells our stories better than our clients.
The difference is stark. I was rear-ended at 70 miles an hour. I was injured, had a concussion. The insurance company, they delayed. They were playing games from the initial conversation. They weren't going to help me. The biggest thing I learned through this is that you can't go through this alone. I called Daniel Stark. They were going to help me, and everything was going to be all right. Daniel Stark got me 10 times the insurance company offered.
The difference is stark.
We are Rogue Media Sports.